Hey guys, this is Inversify here with my Week 10 match of the CPBA Season 4. We're against the 1-8, I believe, Chewbacca Luscious Luxrays. And we are 8-1. So, I was pretty confident coming into this game, especially when I saw he just had no hazard removal. So I think I'll go over my team real quick. So I just have Tail Glow Manaphy with Waterium Z, just to kind of pretty much kill everything. I'm expecting like Scarfers. I was expecting Scarf Krookodile and possibly Scarf Kyurem. Then I have pretty interesting Sandslash set. It was like physically defensive with rocks and rapid spin, and then a knockoff to remove some scarfs, maybe like from the Krookodile to ease Manaphy's sweep, and then brick break because I didn't want like him to have screens, and I didn't feel like I needed ground coverage all that much. I mean, yeah, there's the Heatran, but brick break still hits that decently hard. So yeah, I wanted the brick break for the Klefki screens. We have Frisk Trevenant with it's got Light Clay and Reflect, and then also has Leech Seed, Horn Leech, and Foul Play for the Zygarde. Safety Goggles, Skarmory, which kind of walls this Breloom properly, and it also can set up spikes and whirlwind stuff out. And I have counter on there just to like, instead of Brave Bird, just for like a Krookodile, because Krookodile I thought was a decently big threat to my team. But I can't be hit by Earthquake, and I can take a knockoff because I'm fully physically defensive and hit him with a counter. Then I have just the max HP, max attack Bewear, Choppleberry. Yeah, kind of just like can take a hit from like stuff like Zygarde if it's outraging. Krookodile in a pinch. I can take a superpower from it. I can take like maybe a Focus Blast from Heatran, although I don't know why he would go for Focus Blast when I'm weak to fire. And then I have a specially defensive Clefairy for the Kyurem. Because it's just good against Kyurem. I mean, if he's Specs, I get 2 KO'd, but like, Specs Kyurem is kind of rough. But anyways, I lead off with my Sandslash here, just because I predict him to lead off with the Klefki. So here I'm just going to go for my rocks, because there's no reason not to, in my opinion, as he just gets up spikes. And here I just knock off in case he's like Light Clay or something and I can't brick break for whatever reason. But yeah, I knock off and he has Iron Ball, which means he's definitely like some kind of like trick set, which he reveals the switcheroo here as I rapid spin these spikes away because I don't want hazards on my side of the field. Yeah, so I rapid spin the spikes away, and then I'm going to go for a knockoff here to get rid of his leftovers and not let him have passive recovery. And then I can go for another rapid spin as he finally realizes he's not going anywhere and he switches out into Breloom. So I get off a spin here. I can go into my Skarmory now, which should be able to wall this Breloom because I have safety goggles for Spore. As he goes for the Bullet Seed and does pretty much nothing. So that was good. I can just click spikes here as he goes for the Spore, and I reveal the safety goggles. Yeah, it's going to be pretty problematic for his team. He reveals the Leech Seed here, which I wasn't expecting. So kind of have to like switch here. Like Trevenant probably like completely walls this thing now because of Grass Ghost, but I don't really have anything to hit it. So I do go into the Trevenant here as he doubles into, or he doesn't double, he just switches into Heatran. And I see that he has Choice Scarf thanks to Frisk. So I predict him to go for a fire move here because my team doesn't really like it. So I make the hard switch into Manaphy, knowing I can also take a Flash Cannon. As he gets the Lava Plume and the Burn, which is kind of unfortunate for him. Because it means he can't like Thunder Wave me with Klefki. So here I just set up a Tail Glow. As the Klefki takes a decent amount from hazards, and I know I can just kill it here, so I just go for the Surf and knock this thing out. As he goes for the switcheroo, probably trying to steal my item, but I'm actually Water EMZ, so he can't steal my Z Crystal. Here he goes into the Krookodile, and I calced it. I knew I could pretty much live anything if he was Scarfed, and if he wasn't Scarfed, well then I would just kill him. So he is Scarfed. I don't know why he went for knockoff here. He should have gone for Earthquake because he knew he couldn't remove my item. But maybe he was predicting like Skarmory or something, thinking I would be afraid. And here he goes into Zygarde. I know he's going to E-Speed. I calced this, and if he was Jolly, there was pretty much no chance of him killing me. And if he was Adamant, then it was a roll, like, about, like, 70-30 in his favor. But I was willing to take the chance that he might be Jolly. Didn't want to give this thing a free setup turn, just in case he thinks I'm gonna switch. But he does end up just taking me out with the Extreme Seed, so I know he's pretty much Adamant here. I go into my Trevenant, and yeah, I see the leftovers, which I already saw, whatever. He goes for a sub, which is really annoying. I didn't like this set, as I just go for Reflect so I can take whatever he wants. Here I expected him to be a sub DD, maybe, but he's actually sub Coil, as I go for the foul play there, expecting him to boost his attack and not his defense. And here I know this thing could be a problem, so I hard switch into Skarmory, knowing I can take some stuff, because the first 1,000 arrows will not be very effective. It won't be super effective. And also I have the Reflex and max defense, and I can just Whirlwind this out because it's threat. And in doing so, I can force something to take, what's it called, damage? Hazard damage. As he does go for the 1,000 arrows here, I drag out the Kyurem, deal a good amount of damage to that because of the hazards. And here I definitely don't want to stay in, so I go into my specially defensive Clefairy. It turns out he's not Specs, which is good for me. So he does like 39, which I think was a low roll. I'm not sure though. But he does reveal the Flash Cannon as I just go for a soft boiled. I can pretty much just keep wearing him down, but he shows the Roost here. And then here he makes a misclick, he told me, and he went for another Roost as I went for a Toxic, because I knew I could just Toxic stall him. But what that Roost does, it allows me to knock off his Life Orb. And that way he won't even be close to doing 50%. And then I can just soft boiled stall him. As Toxic just keeps on wearing him down. So now he's doing like 35% with these Flash Cannons, which I can definitely soft boil it up as long as I don't get a specially defensive drop. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happens here. I just kind of soft boil. And then he goes into the Breloom. So he goes into the Breloom, and I just go right into Skarmory, not thinking about it, as he actually goes for a Leech Seed, which I thought that was interesting, because it I could either stay in, Leech Seed wouldn't affect me because of Magikarp, or go into Trevenant, and Leech Seed wouldn't affect me because I'm a Grass type. But he makes a good prediction there. And here I just roost up because, yeah, it's not that, I don't really care that much about giving him an extra 6%. And I think I just roost up here again, just to make sure, I'm at full, can keep on staying healthy throughout the match. Check stuff like the Zygarde and Whirlwind it out if it sets up. Now here I'm definitely switching because I want to wear this Heatran down with hazards because my team isn't actually looking all that good against it. I go into my Clefairy here as he goes for the Lava Plume, and I see that I can take it pretty well. So I just go for a Moonblast here, hoping he would switch, but he doesn't. He stays in, gets the burn, doesn't really affect me because, I mean, I guess it would affect knockoff damage, but I don't knock off for damage anyway. And here he predicts the the soft boiled and makes a good switch into Breloom. As I do just soft boiled so I don't die. And here I just go back into Skarmory as he goes for the Bold Seed. Not gonna do pretty much anything. Really 3% a hit, so there's like 15% with the max of a 5. He goes for another Leech Seed as I set up my final layer of spikes to deal even more damage to things that go in. And now here I'm going to switch into my Trevenant. See that he is, Clefairy, because I think I predicted him. I don't even know what that was. I think I predicted him to switch because he wasn't gonna do anything to me. But there I go into my Trevenant now. I got lucky that he only got 2 on the Clefairy. But yeah, here I actually can't really touch the Breloom, which is kind of sad. I go for a Reflect, I believe. Yeah. And then here is a big mistake by him. So he predicts the Clefairy to come in and hits me with a Flash Cannon. But that was a bad play. So here's why. If you look at my team, really nothing wants to take Lava Plumes continually. He knows that Lava Plume will 2-hit KO this Clefairy at this range because I misplayed and let it take a Bullet Seed. And then he knows Trevenant doesn't want to. Physically defensive Skarmory doesn't want to. Bewear doesn't want to because of Fluffy. Sandslash doesn't really want to because of the possibility of a burn. But it's like, if he went for Lava Plume there, I probably would have gone into Sandslash and tried to kill it with a Brick Break. And if he switches out, then he dies to hazards. But luckily for me, he makes a misplay and goes for the Flash Cannon. So yeah, that was definitely a bad play on his part. Because now my Skarmory, even though it's physically defensive, it can eat up some Flash Cannons. As you can see, a crit there only does 45. So I can roost back up to full and eventually just Whirlwind him out. So he will die to hazards. Now here, go into Breloom. I decided to just Whirlwind again. I didn't want him to get fancy and overpredict or something. I just Whirlwind again, and then there goes the Heatran as it dies to hazards. So we're in a pretty good position right now. He brings in the Zygarde, and I don't want this thing to set up on me. So I know I can take everything with Reflect. So I just Whirlwind again. And then here, since I'm still seeded, I think I just go back into Trevenant. And that way I'm not like giving it like really easy healing. and at the same time wearing myself down. So here he just goes for the Mach Punch because it does the most damage, but Trevenant is immune. He misses a Leech Seed. I don't know why he clicked Leech Seed there. I guess he predicted the double into Skarm. But, yeah. Now with this Reflect Up, these Bullet Seeds are not doing anything. I can just click some Horn Leeches real quick. Recover a little bit of health, not much, but, yeah. This is pretty much over by this point. I just kill him with the Horn Leech. I go for, what's it called? Leech Seed, just miss it. Hit a Leech Seed here. And then, yeah, pretty much just Horn Leech kill. And then, yeah, that's the game. So it's a 4-0 victory. We're 9-1 now. Pretty good record. Faith's the Diabolic Gift next week. Should be a fun match. I'm looking forward to it.